Cube Star Trek episode review. Strange New Worlds is back, so we're here talking about season 4, episode 1. I would be remiss to not introduce my fellow Trekkies in arms. To my right, we have Cheeto, Zam, below me, Lord Donkey, and then to his right is our guest Jefferson Tristan Cisco Kelly. How is everybody this evening?
We're good. We're
Very
good.
good.
Living
Good to
long
be
and
back on track.
prospering.
Why'd you
Something
put me
like
on the
that.
bottom row? I'm not a bottom.
Not yet.
Oh!
Hey-oh.
Here, I'll move Donkey. I'll move Donkey on top of you. Then you'll become a bottom. Don't you?
Oh,
there we
God.
go.
Donkey. Yeah, don't do
Okay.
All right. So, like I said, we're talking about season 4, episode 1. It's called Valles Marineris, which that will become important later on. Kind of a great episode to start off the season. I feel like a lot of action, a lot of just tech stuff going on. Just solid, entertaining episode of Star Trek. What were you guys' overall impressions? I'll start with Cheeto.
Da 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 da.
You're stealing my shit.
Welcome to Star Trekic Park.
Star Jurassic Park.
Star Jurassic Park. Anyway, actually, this was a really fun episode. I really enjoyed it. I do have one major continuity gripe, and it didn't break the episode for me. It was actually a missed opportunity, I felt like, but I'll get into it later. But all in all, I thought this was a really fun episode and a really good way to kick off the season. Exploring strange new worlds, even if it is Earth.
Sam, how about you?
Well, I was going to actually say welcome to Jurassic Trek. I think that looks a lot better. And they definitely. When I was watching this episode, I thought to myself, they were definitely influenced by 65, which was the Adam Driver movie, where they end up on Earth in 65 million. I mean, everything about it felt like that. A quite clever episode, very Star Trek episode, and I love the beginning of this episode. I would love to see more space cowboy shit. That also got me really intrigued as well. I can't wait to talk about this.
All right, Jefferson, what were your overall impressions?
Very nice, strong start coming right out of the gates. It was solid. I think it was very Star Trek Strange New Worlds. We've always gotten, I think, solid performance from them. So was quite happy to see, and was excited about the twist that was thrown our way with this episode.
Oh yeah, it was a pretty clever one, I must say. And Lord Donkey, last but not least.
Well, I have one of the guest stars from the episode with me now. Decided to join us. So I very much enjoyed this episode of Doctor Who Strange New Worlds. Very right out, the reference, the time travel, the wibbly wobbliness of the time travel, being Earth, being the crew meddling with Earth, and just that twist. It was very nice. It was well done. I think it'll upset a lot of the Rickbys in the world, so that makes me happy.
The guy is only happy when he's unhappy. I remember that regarding.
And where is he?
Don't speak him into being
Existence. Yeah.
Don't say that name three times.
Rickby.
No.
Listen, we love the engagement, but we don't love the I don't know. I can't think
permanent
of any nice
negativity.
Words. Yeah, they're prominent negativity. There you go, man. Very diplomatic answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doctor Who New Worlds. That's another good
Doctor
one.
Who New Worlds.
Good one.
Who New Worlds. Also, it was nice to see a dinosaur get punched in the face.
Yeah. It reminded me of that time that dude cold cocked that kangaroo. You see that video? Kangaroo was fighting this guy's dog, and he ran out and just punched the shit out of the kangaroo. Well, the kangaroo kind of like squared up, chested up on him, like, oh, it's like that, huh? And the dude just like jogged away, which was smart. It's like, yeah, you had the drop on the kangaroo, you landed a good hit. Don't overdo it. Know when it's time to get out.
I actually when La'an did that, I looked over at my girlfriend while we were watching it, and I was like, I am soaking wet right now. I'm like, she just punched the dinosaur.
Can you do that?
Who else has done that? Laura Croft hasn't punched a friggin' dinosaur, and she's
I
had
know.
opportunities.
I know, she just shoots him. What a wuss. La'an should be the new Laura Croft.
Honestly,
I could see her in those short shorts. I really could. Oh no!
only if she has the triangle. Anyway, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we end up with kind of like, I saw an A plot and a B plot runner kind of this week, with a couple of little plot threads that came up in the beginning and end that I feel like they're going to try to intersperse throughout the season. And the A plot being Pike and the situation on the ship and his avoidance of thinking about what happened with Marie. And then the second one being Una, Ortegas, and La'an down on the planet that turned out to be Earth. And then there's just the little bits with the cadet and Uhura, and the bickering between Ortegas and Scotty.
So
I think that's going to grow over the season, by the way.
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole cadet thing, like, I kind of am tired of them using this whole Vulcan irritating, like,
arrogance, you mean?
Yeah, well, no, like they did it in Starfleet Academy, they did it in Prodigy. Like this arrogant Vulcan coming in that kind of is like an antagonist, like not like a villain antagonist, but like an antagonist of someone, of a character. Like, they've done this so much. Like, if this was a one-off episode, I'd be like, whatever. But it does seem like she's going to be there for the whole season, and I'm kind of like, why couldn't it be like a Tellarite? Why couldn't it be a Tellarite? Like, come on, give me a Tellarite cadet that's just really hard to deal with.
Impossible to deal with. Yeah, that would make sense.
But it's always got to be an arrogant Vulcan. And I'm like, and it's really funny because me and my girlfriend are watching through Enterprise, and I'm like, like, it is kind of grating. Like, how they kind of make the Vulcans out to be these eternal, like, antagonists to the human race.
I do feel like, regarding the timeline of it, that Vulcans from Enterprise up to maybe this period are quite arrogant up their own arse. But if you notice, Vulcans kind of after that don't seem to. I mean, they still obviously seem to be, the type of people that think that they, that their shit doesn't stink and they know everything. But the arrogance aspect of it seems to be post Enterprise up till this sort of period, timeline wise. If you notice, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a trope in Trek that I'm kind of tired of. As I said, they could have thought outside the box with this one. They could have given us I'd have taken a Tellarite,
Well, I get what you're saying there, and I think for practical reasons they wouldn't do a Tellarite, because when it comes to recurring characters and budget and makeup, that certainly favors a Vulcan if you had to pick between any race. Vulcan is the easiest.
Versus,
Andorian horns or Tellarite, nose and all that. My counter argument to that would be, what about the Klingons? Are the Klingons just as old in regards to how they're played as the Vulcans? And I know that's taking kind of it seems like there's only one way to play a Vulcan, one way to play a Klingon, one way to play a Romulan. But for whatever reason, there's lots of ways to play a human. I guess that's simple because that's what we do. But when you're creating how another race is, I could see where it's like, do we all just do the same caricature? Like, Leonard Nimoy started it. We all just need to kind of be in that lane, play Vulcans like this. And then for Klingons, Worf Michael Dorn modernized it, so we kind of all stay in this lane and do Klingons like this. There's not a lot of variations.
Actually,
in any of the races.
I disagree because we've seen a lot of variations of Klingons throughout Star Trek history. Like, I mean, you've got even like the scientist Klingons, like you in
One
you know,
from Star Trek 6.
Right.
Like I believe that, and I see what you're saying, and I
I
get
was
that.
just going to mention Doug the Vulcan.
I think Worf is quite reserved as a Klingon compared to some others. You know, he's not gusto, in your face sort of Klingon.
And my point I was gonna that Donkey brought up or somebody brought up was
Vance brought it up, but I was
Doug the Vulcan. Because like, and I get it, like that's just one instance where like you have Doug who's like super human, like not superhuman, but like super like into humans, and then you've got like Spock that's half human, so kind of he's a little tapered,
Spock's brother.
And we've had Cybok, which was definitely
Cybok. Yeah,
but I'm sick of, but as I said, they've done it recently. Like that's why I'm saying like we've done it in Prodigy, Academy, Strange New Worlds. I don't know if there was one in Disco or not, but I'm sure Rick B would be here to complain about it. So
a Vulcan?
Yeah, like a Vulcan, just a Vulcan character antagonist, not like a villain, but like
in which series?
Well, you had that one from Picard, that antagonist, like the gangster Vulcan from Picard.
Oh. That dude was a Romulan. I thought he was a Romulan.
I thought he was Romulan too.
No, he was
he a Vulcan?
100% Vulcan.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Sam's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget about our lovely Section 31. We got the robot Vulcan.
I completely forgot about that movie for good reason, you bastard. Why did you bring that up?
I thought Savick as well was quite different, especially when she played by was it Robin? What's her face?
Robin Curtis.
When she played
Curtis?
it.
No, Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley
was but then she was recast.
Yeah. The recast, I thought she did an interesting job. Less arrogant.
Well, but Savick
compared to Kirstie Alley.
Is half Vulcan, half Romulan.
Yep.
Well, do they actually say that, or is that just
is that just in the novelization? I just read it.
Oh, is it in the novelization? Okay, I didn't know.
Which, granted, the novels weren't canon. However, that was always the intent for the character in the movie, and even though the movie didn't plainly say it, you're supposed to infer it from out of Vulcan character things that she did, like near
Spock.
Right.
In the book, she bones David.
Right. So yeah.
I didn't mean to derail us with that. It's just
Oh, and by the way,
go ahead, Sam.
Just going back to this episode, I just want to quickly say that obviously with that cowboy shit at the beginning, which was pretty cool. It didn't lead to anything, but we also had Pike being given a promotion, which
that's offered.
No, but
I do have a question about the horses, though.
Yeah,
were they from that planet, or do they just have stables inside the Enterprise? Or
I'm pretty sure they were from the planet because when they beamed back up, they didn't have the horses. They had the saddle. They didn't have the horses.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to ask questions about why did these horses look exactly like horses.
Were these horses just transporter accidents that they just made them and disintegrated?
I think the horses. I think they came with the horses personally. That's just my opinion. I think they
just has a team of horses in the cargo bay.
Why would people trying to blend in ride animals that are not native to that planet?
That's true. But they didn't glue any stuff on them to make them look like alien horses.
That's what I mean. Who cares?
Yeah, they forgot, and they thought they were making an episode of Firefly.
Once again, they've done that in Star Trek 5 as well. They had horses in Star Trek 5, and no one gave a shit.
Oh, and your favorite line of all time, Zam. Hold your horses, Jim. I simultaneously hated a movie and then Zam loved a movie at the exact same time.
How often does that happen?
Oh, all the time. Trust me.
Once again, I've never been part of that campaign of people who hate Star Trek 5 as much as they do. And then after Section 31 came around, Star Trek 5 is Oscar worthy.
Yeah. All right, back to the episode.
Back to the episode. Zam brought up that April offers the captain a promotion that he ends up at the end of the episode not taking.
Well, like I mean, I'm sorry. Did we all really think that he was going to take it? Like we
Of course
no,
not.
Did he become Commodore?
The fucking promotion.
He isn't he Admiral Pike in the or not in the cage.
He's
in,
still just
In
Captain Pike
Kelvin,
when
in
he's in the
Kelvin, he's
chair.
Admiral.
Fleet captain.
Yeah, that's right. He becomes Commodore in Kelvin. That's right.
Yeah.
No, in Kelvin he becomes admiral.
Oh, is he Admiral? Okay, I can't keep it straight. Too many timelines.
It was in the prime timeline in TOS. He became fleet captain. I think it was not Commodore. It was not admiral. I'm 99% sure it was fleet captain.
To the wiki.
Right? Yeah. But I know he was not admiral or commodore in the prime universe.
No, so we knew he wasn't going to take it, so I think they just use it as a. Oh, go for it.
No, I just wanted a comment. I know we've had a lot of comments, and I apologize, guys, for not getting on those. But I wanted to show this one. Dano Vance does ask the question. I found riding horses on a world where there is clearly gravity issues to be problematic. If rocks are floating around, one would think horse riding would be dangerous, but not impossible. Let us be clear.
I don't think too much, Daniel Vance.
Horses in zero gravity sound hilarious. Let's do that.
And Scarlet Fire says I should have been writing dinosaurs. I would mark out for a Dino Rider show. I'm just saying, like, has nothing to do with Star Trek. Dino Riders.
Memory. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's it.
Memory Alpha says fleet captain as rank for charred Pike in the chair.
Charred Pike in the chair.
I think
That's
Will
his official
Ferrell
billing.
rode a dinosaur in that movie where he was a scientist.
Doctor Who had dinosaurs on a spaceship.
Yeah, and the Doctor rode Trikey.
Yeah.
Oh, and could you guys not trying to derail things, like, but back to the episode. Did all of you guys hear my cringe in the episode when Palia was like, last time I saw something like this, it was in a telephone booth or whatever. I'm like, God, I hate you so much. Can you please die and let Scotty take over?
With that,
sorry, go on.
When she said that so quickly out of the gate at the beginning of the episode, like, come on, you didn't have to make a Doctor Who reference like as soon as the episode starts. You could have waited a little bit later.
I'm okay with that. I just don't care for her character as a whole. So
yeah.
Well, and I mean, whenever they have meetings, why is Scotty and Palia there? Who's running? Like, if Scotty's in the meetings because Palia doesn't like the meetings,
Scotty doesn't know.
Then put Palia back in engineering because Scott. It doesn't make any sense why both engineers are there.
A fucking 40 Marlboro a day voice is just driving me fucking crazy.
What are you talking about, Zam?
She needs to fucking quit smoking big time.
Yeah.
And when she is speaking, I'm thinking like she reminds me of one of those witches from Pirates of the Caribbean, which is telling them about an ancient treasure somewhere in the lost fucking sea. There be treasure in these places, my hearties and all that shit. Oh god, she's jarring, man. She's fucking jarring.
That's why I'm saying she needs to just stay in engineering, do what she's good at, and let Scotty go to the meetings because she hates him. Like she hates Scotty and she hates the meetings. So send both of them.
You thought they would have the technology to fucking fix her fucking throat.
No one can fix this amount of smoker's cough. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no, she's earned that over the thousands of years.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. Anyway, that just always irks. Like whenever I see the two of them in a meeting together, it just gets in my craw. I'm like, wow, okay, so the ship's falling apart, and you've got two of your best engineers, both of them in a meeting, not one working the floor and the other one in a meeting.
A meeting that could have been an email.
And yes,
I'll tell you what bugs me. Like, and I'm sorry, I'm jumping to the end here. Is that you got the entire fucking crew of all of them sitting around the fucking table together. When you notice that there are other members of Starfleet mingling in 10 Forward or wherever that fucking bar is, I'm thinking to myself, why don't these guys mingle with other people? Why is it always these?
Starfleet is very clicky.
Yeah,
it's the command crew click.
Enough.
I feel like Lower Decks would have made fun of that.
Yeah,
If
well,
they
we won't
didn't.
find out now, will we? Because apparently
No.
5 seasons is all
Even
we get.
comics.
I know. I can't do Star Trek in comics. I don't know why. I just think it loses its panache.
Huh.
All right, let's continue.
Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, they end up caught in the storm and flung into God knows where when it ended up being the future or the past rather, 65 million years in the past, which is kind of nuts.
Oh.
I want to talk about Commander Cassell, the antagonistic commander who ended up being a Martian. What did you guys think of the way they tried to utilize that character? Zam?
The actress as well, for a start, she's an English actress. I've seen her in so much shit, but I can't remember.
I thought
what.
her and Pike were gonna bone.
But I found her to be an interesting antagonist because so often people like her, they come across as people with
That's where I've seen her before. Sorry.
Who are not willing to compromise, but she did. You know, we're going to take your ship and everything you have and all your scrap and stuff and use it against the enemy. Boom. Instant enemy 9 times out of 10. But she was willing to speak to the captain and understand what the situation and what's going on. And she was willing to compromise until she thought she was lied to later on, which I could totally understand. And her war as well, what's going on and all of that. It was interesting. And the technology of that era, and even though they are very futuristic, you know, they did things differently with their technology, like walking through walls. It was interesting, all of it.
I like that twist of having being in the Sol system, having 3 M-class planets at the time, which was a very big, very smart twist, and making them Martians was like, wow, you know, that was a good idea. Whoever came up with that.
I've actually got 2. I had 2 theories that I want to get into during this episode. So I don't know, whenever it's, but yeah, I have 2 big theories, like not fan theories, but like theories that I was working while watching this episode.
Their ship was really cool. The Martian ship.
It was.
The only gripe I'll have is it's a small gripe I have with a lot of Trek, where like we're going back 65 million years to our solar system, where humans haven't evolved yet. Why do the Martians look humanoid? Not that they need to look like you're Marvin the Martian kind of thing, but
they look like Vulcans.
I know they did the progenitors and like, oh, that's why all the species in the Star Trek universe are mostly humanoid. But I get bored of that. Like, look, show me some blob people. Come on.
I know what you mean. I've always said that as well.
That's one thing I think Star Wars does a little bit better with just some non-humanoid character alien races, but 2 arms, 2 legs, and pointy ears. Like, wait, where have we seen this before? Oh,
right,
box right there.
So going into my
stuff here.
Well, going into my first theory, what I was working as soon as I saw them, I thought that they were like, and I don't know when the Vulcans like separated from, like the Romulans separated from the Vulcans, but I thought these were pre-ununified Vulcans. Like this was eons ago. And as I said, I don't remember when the Vulcans evolved. I don't know when the Vulcans and the Romulans split, but I was thinking maybe this is like ancient Vulcan, like, you know, unified Vulcans. Like, and this is just so ancient, you know, and stuff like that. And I knew they were in the Sol system at that point. So Vulcan's not too far from, you know, from the Sol system. And remember, the Romulans left from Vulcan. They didn't go from Romulus to Vulcan. They went from Vulcan to Romulus. So the Vulcans have always been close, like, what is it, 17 light years or something like that from Earth or something like that. It's something pretty close in galactical standards. So I was thinking, oh my God, with all the green, accents on their outfits, I'm like, oh, they're really pushing like Vulcan, like Romulan vibes here, you know. And I saw the kind of point here, so I'm like, I mean, over 65 million years, those evolving down a little bit, you never know.
Never know, indeed. That was an interesting theory.
My other theory involves the end, so I'll wait till the end.
My only thing is that if they are from a civilization that is that came from 65 million years ago. Then and apparently, and Banga said that some of them did survive and moved into different planets. The level of involvement, like they would be the most superior beings of the galaxy. If they're that level of if they're 65 million years ago, they're already flying around in fucking space.
No, but it's kind of like the rise and it's kind of like the rise and fall of an empire. They kind of get absorbed into like other between mixed
65 million years.
No, but like the Roman Empire didn't last. The Roman Empire split into all different things. Like I know we're talking about like humans and humans, but like they even said that like the genetic material they found like from their scans of them shows they were all over the galaxy. So there was probably after Mars died and like whatever, like they probably spread out into the universe and integrated into other cultures. And like they kind of destroyed themselves.
So I just looked up progenitors seeded the universe or galaxy, whatever, 4.5 billion years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not messing with that.
No.
They used that lore too recently for them to absent-mindedly muck it up. I feel.
Yeah, you give them too much credit.
That's true.
Do you remember in the Voyager episode as well? They came across these sort of reptilian race, which actually originated from Earth.
That actually goes into my next theory, because my thought of a missed opportunity was, why was that third planet not inhabited by like dinosaur, like those dinosaur people? And then when the planet's destroyed, they leave and they head towards the Delta Quadrant. Like that was their moment to kind of link. And as I said, there were no dinosaurs that we know of on that planet that were evolved enough to leave the planet. So it would have made sense that there was just a third planet with all the dinosaur people on it, and then Earth just had like a primordial version of their people. Maybe they hunt on that planet.
What's funny about what you're saying about the dinosaur people in Doctor Who? Dinosaur people were the original inhabitants of Earth, and they lived underground, asleep.
They're copying fucking the shitty Super Mario Brothers movie.
Right.
That's what they're doing. Everyone's copying something. This episode was copying 65 without a doubt. Every element of it felt like 65. And that shit you just talked about, even though I don't watch Doctor Who, felt like it was copying Super Mario Bros.
Right.
Well, I mean, what year did that come out with Doctor Who? Like
that was
the story ends are in 1970.
Okay, so Star Trek then copied that in Voyager. So, but that I just thought it was a huge missed opportunity to kind of link up the timeline a little bit. Like that third planet could have been where those dinosaur people, but instead they were insectoids or something like that. And I'm like, you could have had the dinosaurs there, like dinosaur people there, and then when their planet's destroyed, they just hightail it out of the system and they just head towards the Delta Quadrant, and they get there over 65 million years. You know what I mean? Like they had a perfect opportunity and they just didn't.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there, but I am glad that they kept the dinosaurs on Earth where we know they belong, and used a whole different race. Had it be the Formics that were on Planet 5, instead of some kind of dinosaur-ish type. So I'm glad they did it the way that they did it.
Well, that means that there were 3 planets with 3 different spectrums. You've had reptiles on Earth, you had humanoids on Mars, and then you had insectoids on
on
Planet
StarCraft
5.
2, for fuck's sake. You ever played StarCraft 2?
No.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
I was thinking that.
Protoss,
I was thinking that,
Zerg,
the Protoss and the Arachne, whatever they're called, but yeah.
I really thought that they were using. I liked the way they used Cassell to try to sell Starfleet and the Federation, and remind maybe somebody who's new coming into the show what those things are like and about. Also, just the way I loved that moment when the Universal Translator chose to use the word widower for his use of alone. That was powerful. I felt like.
Mhm. Yeah, I had to
That was
get
It was
good. I
a-
like that.
on that.
I
That was
mean, I don't think
very
they ever done anything like that in Star Trek. Like, I don't ever remember an instance where they've said, had the universal translator speak to them. Like obviously, I know they hear their language when they're talking, but like, yeah, I don't think they've ever used that trope before. That was one of the parts where I was really impressed with. I'm like, wow, I don't think they've ever done that before.
It's
Nope.
original as hell. Yeah.
So that Vulcan, it doesn't need a universal translator. She can speak English and various human dialects.
Well, yeah, she's a communications
because
officer.
she
all
so
human
she
dialects.
she wasn't using the Vulcan. Honestly, sometimes the universal translator thing really pisses me off on how it works. But they want to sometimes just speak in their regular language, and sometimes they're not. Like, when do they know how to switch it on and off and all that shit? They just
Hand
fucking
wavy,
annoying.
hand wavy.
Yep.
I want to hear her translation to Ebonics. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear it.
Overload the translator on that.
Right? City talk, baby. City talk.
Yeah.
Mage.
Yeah.
He's-
I'm sorry. I was trying to glance through my notes and collect my thoughts. Sorry.
How dare you see yourself out?
How dare you try to corral this herd of cats?
By the way, when our trio of lovelies landed on that planet,
That's
Did
where
you
I was
know
going to
those
transition to.
did you feel like there's a fucking dinosaur?
When I saw the
you
tail,
Mm-hmm.
you could kind of see the tail in the trees, and I was like, "Oh, that looks like a dinosaur tail." And I knew there were going to be dinosaurs this season. Like I saw one of the trailers. I tried not to watch all the trailers, but I saw a trailer with a dinosaur in it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Yeah, that's probably going to be a Also, if you read the description, which I didn't notice until afterwards, it does say, like in the description, 65 million years ago. I think it
That's
said
why I
on
don't
Earth.
read any of that.
I
I
know.
don't look at the description.
Yeah,
I
I'm
hit
so
play
glad.
as soon as I can.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
65
why
million
Yeah.
years in the making.
No
I
I kept
trailers,
myself
no
in the fucking
descriptions.
dark, and I'm glad I did.
even if they would have only said 65 million years ago, I would have been like, oh, it's going to be about dinosaurs. Like, but that's
Right.
what I'm saying. Like, I'm glad I didn't notice it until afterwards. But yeah, if you look at the description, it's like, oh yeah, well, okay, you know what's going to happen here. It took all the suspense out of the episode.
You did it to yourself. It'd be your own people.
Yeah, they need to make those a little more cryptic and a little less of a.
Or they just
synopsis
need to
of the
have something
episode.
where you can like, it's
Disable
blurred,
it
and then
out,
you can
choose
unblur
it,
it. If
yeah.
you,
That would work.
like a spoiler, like a what is it, a spoiler blur?
Aren't
Or
we in
Or
something?
show
charge of
some
that?
restraint and just not look at it.
It's hard sometimes when it's right there on your TV and like your page. Like it's hard to not see like the
You're
word
just-
65
you're just,
million.
Is it on yet?
Yeah.
If I put a donut in front of you, would you eat it when it's
No,
not on
because
your
I-
diet?
Probably.
I don't like donuts. I
Well, it
pass
depends on where it's from.
What the fuck? You don't like
I'm
that?
not a
If it's
bit- I mean,
homemade, maybe.
I'll eat a donut if I need sugar, but like I'm not I don't go out of my way to get donuts ever.
You haven't had the right donut.
No, I've had plenty of donuts. Trust me.
Because I'm on a diet, I'm not eating donuts as much as I used to. But man, I fucking.
But
love
would you eat a
donuts.
donut from 65 million years ago? That's the
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
Of
I
course
mean,
not, man. I want to eat a fucking donut if
does
it was
it have an
65 days
expiration
old, let
date?
alone 65 million years ago. Like when things might be a treat and something I like, but the moment I know it's out of date, I ain't fucking touching that shit.
Hey,
The only thing that could last for
Sam
that
has
long
strong
would be
feelings
a
about expired
McDonald's
donuts.
cheeseburger.
McDonald's cheeseburger or a Twinkie.
Yeah.
They
or
can't go
Twinkie.
bad. They're too full of artificial stuff. But I digress. Why did we think about Una's plan to shoot the dinosaur in the mouth and stun it?
Pew pew pew
Brilliant,
pew pew pew.
brilliant, or crazy?
Both?
Both.
I say her,
Yeah.
her rationale was sound. Like shoot it in the soft palate if you can't.
I
get
never
through its
thought of
skin.
that.
I mean, that's what I would have done. I mean, how many times have we seen things where you got to like shoot it in the mouth, like in video games, where you have to shoot it
Come
in the
on.
mouth because that's the weak point.
Is it obvious just because they said it? It's like when someone tells you their password was 12345. Yeah, it's obvious after they said it, but you sure as hell didn't guess that.
Yeah, but if a dinosaur has a big ass mouth, I'd be sitting there going, I bet you we can shoot it in the mouth easier than we can get through its skin or its hide.
Okay.
That'd have been my first thought: to shoot it in the mouth.
Interesting. Okay. I
Okay.
never that thought
I
never
wouldn't have
dawned
never
on me.
I
would have
wasn't
come up
Really?
with
thinking
that.
of
No.
I guess I'm just more experienced with pew pews than you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've played more Jurassic Park video games than us.
There's that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you might have already been trained for such a scenario.
R.I.P. Dr. Grant.
And can I just state the obvious?
Hmm.
He's a white American male,
Oh,
so part of the code.
oh.
White American straight male. Get it correct.
Yeah, yeah,
I know
Because I'm
what you
straight.
mean, so-
Because I'm
so.
straight. I like to shoot my guns.
Yeah, and you got the fucking beard for it as well. Jesus Christ.
That's right. I look like that's right. I look like I could go on a racist, homophobic rant.
Mate, you wear
and
a flannel shirt right now, and you look like fucking MAGA.
I know, right? Like I just throw a red hat. It doesn't even have to say make America great again. I could just throw a red hat on and go on some racist, homophobic rant, and like people would believe it just by my look.
Yeah.
I
need
could,
the hat
guys.
that
I could
says, "Made you
infiltrate
look."
them. Yeah, made you look. There you go.
Hmm.
I could infiltrate MAGA, guys. I can do this, and then when I get in there, I will change them all.
I did that on Parlor. I
Guys, they can
infiltrated
totally
MAGA
be
on
You'll get
Parler.
sucked
reasoned
into
with.
it.
I will
fucking
launch an
pretended to be a white
antimatter missile into their headquarters.
I pretended to be a white supremacist on Parler. I called myself True Patriot White Guy, and I had a picture of Donald Trump with his arms around a couple of Klan members as my profile picture.
Oh
And,
God.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, I instead of calling myself an alpha male, I kept calling myself an alpaca male.
An alpaca male.
Anyway, let's move on.
Did anybody catch why they were able to destroy a whole planet with a antimatter, antimatter containment thing? Like
that's a
We're
stretch.
going there.
That's a
I
stretch.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't know if it was like they modified it some way, but I'm like, listen, antimatter meets matter definitely would make definitely has like explosive results. We know that, but I'm like, that thing that they were just carrying through the hallway, I'm like, is that enough to blow up a whole planet that fast?
It was an insect planet.
Maybe with their technology mixed in with it.
Maybe.
You know,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I must have missed if they modified it or something. Like, and they're like, they launched a missile. I'm like, oh no, a missile. No.
Right.
Oh no, here comes the NX-01. They're gonna launch missiles at us.
It's an insect planet. It's all hollow. It's all full of colonies.
Oh.
So it was a weak planet. I don't know.
It was a stretch. That was a big.
They shot it down They shot it down the blast port. That's what they did. Go ahead, Sam.
Did you guys like start to put the pieces together once you realize, hold on, there's a planet in this solar system that doesn't belong?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I as soon as
they said that, like, oh, he's gonna blow that up, or he's gonna let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's where the asteroid belt.
Yeah, that's where the asteroid. Well, they even said at the end that only 4% of that planet was left in the asteroid belt. I was like, damn. Like, I mean, go ahead.
Coming in or what?
The only thing I didn't see coming though, which was clever because I didn't see that bit, was an asteroid obviously being an element from the planet that they destroyed, causing the destruction of the dinosaurs on Earth, which obviously I did like because it will make sense.
That means all the dinosaurs we saw in this episode died. Just so you know.
Yeah, I knew Pike was gonna say, you know what, we can't interfere in this shit, because we need to let it happen because it's
once
supposed
he added
to
it
happen.
up.
Yeah, and it's surprised nobody else added it up, which is kind of surprising. Not even Spock fucking added it up.
Well, I figured it out right before he did. Like it was.
Yeah, me too.
It wasn't early on, but there was just this look on his face. And I paused it. I was like, oh yeah, here's what's going to happen. What's in between in our solar system? What's between Mars and Jupiter? Asteroid field. So I figured out maybe 30 seconds before he did, but still.
As soon as they started heading towards that planet with the antimatter, whatever, I was like, oh, they're gonna probably try to blow the planet up. That's why I was confused. I'm like, what did they steal that was so? It's like an antimatter containment grid, and I'm like, what? Like, as I said,
that was antimatter intermix, or
no, it was just antimatter.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's just antimatter, like the antimatter that mixes
They must
in
have
with the
done
matter.
something to it then.
I
Well,
also knew
had
that.
to
I
have.
also knew the repercussions of it as well. Like I knew that the destruction of that planet would obviously destroy Mars in a different way, but I knew it would end them as well. It was
I
like,
feel
you could
like
just see it on the wall.
I feel like that's an
Yeah.
area where it came up short, where they had to travel back to the future so quickly that they didn't even get to like, oh, hey, let's look at Mars in this. You know what I mean? They just, oh, we have to ride the wave and go. Bye. Oh, but we at least scanned everything, and yeah, this is what's going to happen to Mars.
But even
Like,
even when the planet
all the
destroyed, I also
history's
knew.
gone. Like,
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but I just sorry for the tangenting here, but I also knew that when they destroyed the planet, for okay, this is our fucking ticket home. We're gonna fucking ride this fucking
right.
explosion
It's like,
back
wait a
to the
sec,
future.
Spock, you can figure out a slingshot.
Why didn't they
you've done
just
it in
fly around the
future.
sun?
Right.
I knew somebody was going to ask that.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably have to fly around it a handful of times. And this was before. This is before they did it in TOS.
Still would have been cool.
It's just you would thought that they would have tried to preserve that Martian history somehow. Like if that commander had left some information with Pike, but I guess he has that Princess of Mars book, which I'm not familiar with, but
that was
has
so
something to do with it.
tropey. He's like, me growing up, this Princess of Mars book was my favorite book. I'm like, really?
I just happen to have an old copy of it.
Yeah,
Right.
On my
yeah,
shelf.
I
Yeah,
was just
bullshit. You don't have an old copy that's sitting
like,
around.
I could see if like he was like, I remember this book from a long time ago that I read, and like, I replicated it
Cool.
and I started reading it again, and like, I could see if he like rediscovered it or discovered it because of this incident. But I'm like, yes, he happens to have that book on his bookshelf. He happens to go back in time 65 million years, and they happen to meet Martians. Yeah, okay. By the way, they weren't green and they can't shapeshift, so I was kind of sad at that point.
And also, by the way, that explosion moved Mars off its axis as well. Like
the gravitational change in the solar system moved it off its axis.
Yeah.
Well,
but it was all to do with the explosion.
Well,
initially,
so she doomed her own planet and
Yeah.
herself and her crew in that moment. But
But you think they would have run that simulation to know, hey, if we destroy the planet, this will happen.
I still think they should have brought the Voth in. I still think that would have been a great connective tissue for the Voth.
They've probably forgotten about the Voth, to be honest.
I know. It's just frustrated.
Something that frustrated me was I made a note about, is this a stretch or what? The way the Cassell figured out that where they were from, or rather when they're from.
That was a bit of a stretch.
I mean, I could see if like their technology, like they scan their technology and it was way too far advanced. You know what I mean? Like I could kind of see that, but like, yeah, it does seem like, they didn't really have to connect too many dots to get to there. And that's where I was kind of like,
oh, she's like, I could tell,
looking at your display.
Like, I can see how you track time from,
Right. I was like, what? No, that was too much of a stretch. That and the planet-destroying amount of antimatter that just happens to be on the Enterprise. Bullshit. You have to assume it was right. I won't go back into that whole part, but yes, there were several things that happened in this episode that was like, we have to make this happen to keep the plot going.
Plot contrivances.
Yeah, there were a little bit too many plot contrivances for my liking, but because Strange New Worlds is in the habit of doing that, I was like, okay, I'll give it to
you. Daniel Vance, if you're there, because Daniel Vance will know this, I don't expect the rest of you guys to. But regardless, Daniel Vance, the actress who played the female antagonist in this episode, she was also the lady in the Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, that was her. Yeah.
Yeah.
In her underwear when she got eaten by a shark. I remember that scene.
No, she didn't get eaten, but she wasn't in her underwear when she got eaten by the shark.
Oh, that's right. She was in her underwear when she stood and like they were electrocuting the shark in the one room. But yeah, she got in her underwear.
Have you seen the Deep Blue Sea with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
It's been forever.
Okay, she was the last. I think she was the last person to get killed in the
Yeah.
film. She was supposed to actually survive the movie, but apparently with test audiences, because she was kind of an antagonist to a degree, they didn't like her surviving, so they killed her off right at the end.
Yeah, I just remember her getting in her underwear and then electrocuting the shark. That's my teenage, because that came out like 1999.
You're right. Actually, you're right. She got out of her swimsuit so she could use it as protection from getting electrocuted. Yeah.
This
I knew
these
I was
little bits about this movie sound wild.
I knew I was a straight alpha gun-toting American male when I saw that movie. A black guy got eaten, and I loved it. Yeah.
You're gonna get us canceled,
right?
Yeah, for real.
Can't take them anywhere.
Either that, or we're gonna get a whole new audience we don't want.
I'm not welcome anymore.
No, we ran them all away when we actually liked Starfleet Academy, and we're sad about the cancellation.
I know. Tell me about
True.
There was just one other thing about Down on the Planet on Earth, Primordial Earth, that I wanted to talk about, and then we can kind of move on to the conclusion and wrap up. There was the moment that Erica was feeling pity for the Drummond alien species, and La'an was conflicted in what to feel because she realized that these were probably going to try to take over the Earth if they hadn't been shot down. And I feel like that's a very
Elon Musk thing to do. Take over another planet because,
Yes, but to feel pity and try to point out that the different is not necessarily your enemy was a very Trek thing to do, I felt like.
Right. It was a Star Trek way of coming up with a solution to a problem.
Erica came up with that solution, right? Like, who? I'm trying to remember in that exchange. Who was the one talking about them taking over? Like, who felt pity for them?
Erica Ortega.
Yeah. So So with that one, I bet you that kind of stems from last season with the Gorn. Like, just because they look like threatening or different or whatever. I bet you that's from that Gorn episode that she had. Dude, I watched that Gorn episode again with my girlfriend a couple months ago, and it was a hard watch. I just hate the ending of that episode. Just ruined that whole episode. It was such a good episode. Anyway, but yeah, no, I think that's where that character art, like, that kind of stems from, is from that episode where she like got pity for the Gorn, like, and it kind of shows the character development of her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for real. So we've been through the repercussions of the explosion of the insectoid home world. Near the end, Pike and M'Benga are discussing if what Pike did was right or not, if they made the right call. And
it was the only call they could make. This is the very definition of a paradox.
It is.
They were. It's very definite. They were supposed to. All of this shit was supposed to happen.
Yep. Daniel Vance calls it a predestination paradox. I knew he would know the name of the type.
And no, First Contact is not a predestination paradox. That's just my opinion, though. He wrote a comment saying the episode was a predestination paradox, like First Contact. I don't believe that First Contact was meant to be a predestination paradox. Anyway.
You think it's Daniel Vance thinks that the moment is with Lon not feeling anything in her broken hand is a heel turn foreshadowing. Could be.
I thought
seemed to be setting up for her recessive genes becoming active.
That's why I when you got to the end of the episode, I was going to bring that up. Is like, are they are they hinting at I was thinking she might become like the primary antagonist because remember when she turned into a Vulcan, she actually was more Romulan than Vulcan.
Yes.
So I really feel like they're pushing for her to become a protagonist or an antagonist, like a villain antagonist by the end of this season, rather than, and that's where I think she's going to go. She may not necessarily die, like, let's say, but like, I think that's how she's going to depart is she's going to either be defeated by the Enterprise and leave, or they're going to have to kill her. One of the two.
But they're going to have a memory wipe
secrecy or something. That when Mbenga said, "Don't go taking over the galaxy now."
Foreshadowing.
Unless it is a different timeline. They're gonna have to somehow forget her.
I mean, there's a lot of broken timeline stuff. I mean, you might be right. They might do a mind wipe.
The whole thing, like with Michael Burnham. Oh, it's classified. She never existed.
That's why I'd rather just be a different timeline. Like I'm just like just make everything from from First Contact to that episode from Enterprise to Disco to Strange New Worlds. Like all of that is a new timeline. Let's just it makes it easier. Let's just enjoy it.
I want Pike not to end up in the chair. I don't want him to be in the chair.
I agree with you. I also want Star Trek Year 1.
That would be compelling.
Yeah.
I want Star Trek Year 1. I want this crew to continue, and I want them to bring in...
He's got to end up in the chair, though. Otherwise, it's a cop-out. Oh, we found a way.
No, but they did it with the Kelvin timeline. They
transporter clone him or something, and he disappears off in the sunset. But no,
I think they either have to decide if
Pike has to beat Boop, and that's it.
No, I think that they will. They'll need to make the decision on whether they will do it or not. Whether they're going to do a different timeline or not. Which again, I don't care if they do or not. I think that they should do the new timeline and just be like, do Star Trek Year 1, like continue with the new adventures of Kirk and the new cast, and let all the neckbeards get mad about it, and totally let them totally not rehash, but because the Star Trek reinvent some of the classic episodes in modern times, make them wokeified. Go ahead, why not make the Rick B's mad?
Cheeto, if you haven't seen it, there's that fan film I made that discusses that very topic of the First Contact universe is what happened after the Borg sphere went back in time, and basically Enterprise, Strange New Worlds, Discovery, it's all in the First Contact universe.
I've been saying that for years. I mean,
we had a whole highly illogical podcast installment about it.
Yeah, we did a whole when in the early inception, I think, of the highly illogical podcast, we did one. It was years ago, but yeah. So quit stealing my stuff, Jefferson.
I came up with that.
I think we were just on. I think we were just on parallel paths.
We were on the same track.
Yeah.
Sounds like
on the same track.
What did you think of Ortega's piss take of Scotty's accent?
I think that was funny. That was good.
I thought it was. I mean, it's good banter between two people, but I feel like it's too I feel like people would, at least in the Star Trek universe, I feel like they would be beyond that maybe at that era. Maybe taking the piss out of each other, maybe. But it seemed like them actually having an antagonistic relationship just kind of seems off to me, and her making fun of his accent.
Humanize them.
Well, and as I said, I know this is newer Trek, so they got to create character conflict, but it's just it's kind of to me, it's just it's almost a tad racist, almost, in my opinion. I feel like If I'm taking the piss out of Zam for his accent is one thing, because it's just we're joking, but she's actually making fun of him because she's annoyed with him, and there's a it's different of where the
bad place.
Yeah, it's coming from a bad place, and I get it. Ortega's Latina and everything, and she's got a hot temper, but I'm still, I feel I just feel like it's in bad taste.
I don't know, like.
Wow, I
didn't mind it too
actually
much.
defend somebody, or actually say somebody's being racist, and Zam doesn't jump on that bandwagon. I'm surprised.
Look, I'm going to tangent a little bit. Like somebody on TikTok said that a film, the movie Short Circuit didn't age well because Fisher Stevens is playing an Indian guy in that
Right.
movie. I thought his portrayal is fucking. As an Indian guy myself, I fucking love his portrayal. There's a movie called The Party back in the 60s, stars Peter Sellers, the legendary Peter Sellers. He plays an Indian guy in that movie too. Ben Kingsley played Gandhi. Got a fucking Oscar for
No,
it.
okay, but
You know what I mean?
there's different. Like Scotty is a Canadian, or James Doohan played a Canadian, or he is a Canadian, and he played a Scot. Like there's difference between playing something and like making fun of something.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Roach played a fucking Indian guy, Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom.
Again, you're talking about playing different people. I'm talking about actually like trying to be hurtful towards somebody, like that you're and Daniel Vance says I liked Ortega and Scotty ribbing one another. I don't think they were ribbing. I think Ortega's was being mean. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think she was just being mean about it, making fun of his accent. I wouldn't, like, as I said, if they were ribbing one another, they'd be laughing, but like they are truly just kind of like they don't like each other at the
I
moment.
think there's an undertone of piss take ribbing, like it's not necessarily her hating, but there is a sort of like I forgot the word, but they're having there's a bit of a battle between them, but it's friendly at the same time, if you know what I mean. A bit of high, who's got the upper hand, because it's their situation, isn't it? Like she wants to fly the fucking ship. He's telling her all the time, sending her messages saying, "Don't do this shit," and she's ignoring it, and it stems from that. If you think about it,
Scotty is what he's saying.
And so, the evolution of what they are to each other. Like he's trying to help her, and she's telling him, "Look, I'm good."
So for us,
and then
us making fun of Hocus Pocus's voice, is that coming from a good place like that? Because
no, her voice is jarring as fuck, man. I've always said
I know that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, it's not coming from a good place. We're ribbing on. We're not ribbing on her. We're like, no, we genuinely don't like that.
But there are differences.
You guys don't like
I agree.
Her. I think she's hilarious.
But she's. But when Ortega is making fun of his accent, whatever, that's not the reason why she's got an issue with him. It's more to do with their relationship, as shipmates, with him saying, "Look, you're gonna fucking kill us if you keep doing this shit," and her fucking ignoring it.
Yeah, but why?
And then obviously
why did she have to make fun of his accent? Like, what did his accent have anything to do with what they were talking about?
It's just a way of her like having a shot at him.
Exactly. She's just like me. That's what you sound like. Like that's all that was. Like, and it's just like, why?
But I do feel at the same time she would have his back, if circumstances.
Yeah, because she needs him to fly the ship, or he needs her to fly the ship.
But they're crewmates. They work with each other. It's a bit. Look at. Okay, I'll give you another example. What about fucking McCoy and Spock? The amount of shit
green-blooded bastard.
Call him a green-blooded son of a
bitch.
And all
I
this
always
sort of stuff.
thought McCoy treated Spock wrong. Just so you know.
Hmm.
I never really thought. I was always like, really, is Spock going to take that? Like, of course Spock's going to take. And Kirk's letting that happen on his ship.
At the same time, Spock is defending McCoy when he thought that Kirk was being bad to Spock, and I don't know. It's just relationships people have sometimes,
Okay.
In their environment, but anyway.
All right. Does anybody else have anything they're burning to get off their chest, or do we want to do end thoughts and mark this thing?
I'm ready for end thoughts.
Do you want to start us off then?
Sure. My end thought was very strong opening to the season of Strange New Worlds. I thought the idea that they came up with and how they connected this to a 65 million year old, this was always supposed to happen, predestination paradox, thought was good. So I'm real excited about the season with a strong start. I'd have to, if I had to rate this one, I'd give it a good 9 out of 10.
Very solid score. Lord Donkey.
Yeah, definitely a strong start. I feel like they did it well because this could have gone meddling with this kind of backstory, like, oh, we're going back to the end of the dinosaurs on Earth. Like they could have really mucked it up, um, trying to go back and insert some story there and insert themselves there. And I think they did a good job of putting themselves in there and explaining it. And they did cut some quarters, it feels like, but no, it's definitely a good start to the season. Definitely excited to see what else, and I'm very glad that it was just one episode today and not two dropping all at
Right.
once.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
I think that's good for it. I'd say an 8.
All right, another solid
today.
score.
Mhm.
Zam.
I like this episode. I thought we were going to get something that I'm not sure if we've had in this particular series, but it's quite a common trope in Star Trek is the vacation episode, and that tends to sometimes happen at the beginning of a new season, and that wasn't the case. And I'm hoping maybe we do get one of those episodes in the future. But what we did get was a really good episode, but you could tell they were influenced by the movie 65. There's no doubt about that. When it came to this episode, but they used it very cleverly. I thought most of this episode would be based on planet Earth and having to save our trio of lovelies and make sure they get back and stuff like that. But then we got thrown with a twist with this alien race coming in and fucking things up with the Enterprise, which was brilliant.
Mhm.
It was a really good episode, and even though some things became a bit predictable by the end, I don't mind that. It's testament to us as Star Trek fans how knowledgeable we are. I give it an 8. I enjoyed. This is a really good Star Trek episode, just generally from start to finish. Long may this continue, but I doubt it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it walked the fine line between predictability and making sense, but I feel like it did it well.
Right.
Cheeto?
Right.
I was originally going to give this episode a a 9 or a 10 because I agree it was a very fun episode. I had a lot of fun with this episode. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was very good, very fun. And it makes me even want to give it more because Daniel Vance brought up that the actress was an actress from Wing Commander actually. That I knew I had seen her from somewhere. And on top of that,
She was in Troy as well.
Yeah, Deep Blue Sea.
She played Eric Banner's wife in Troy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen Troy, but I mean, that's not where I equated her more from Deep Blue Sea and Wing Commander. Anyway, I think they missed a huge opportunity connecting with the Voth. I think that was they could have really solidified a really good Trek. Like, hey, look, we're connecting this to Voyager, and it would have made perfect sense to me. So I'm probably going to give it I'm going to give it an 8 just because of that missed opportunity. I still had a lot of fun with this episode. But I was really struggling to figure out if I was going to give it a 9 or a 10 for a while. But the more we talk about it, we all bring ourselves down a notch at least. So I'm going to give it an 8.
I am going to give this one an 8 as well. Watching it 2 times, I felt like the back half of it rushed a little bit, and the first half was really well paced. The back half is rushed, and I feel like maybe this could have been a 2-parter if we still lived in a world with 26 episode seasons. But such is the reality we live in. We get 10 episode seasons. This has to be a 1-parter, and I feel like it suffers for that. So I'm just
actually feel like I just want to retort, and I'm sorry you're doing your final thoughts, but I feel like if we did 2 episodes, like I feel like it would have been stretched too much. So it's kind of in that place where it's like you either do too much or you do too little. Now, if they did 1 part where they're like figuring out Earth and everything, and then at the end of that episode you bring in the alien race and Mars and all this, I could see that being a 2-parter, but like you would definitely have to segment it, in my opinion. Like you couldn't just have all this entire story that we got today stretched out over 2 episodes. You'd have to really segment it really well.
There'd be some more stuff in there too in the middle to flesh it out. But
anyway, sorry.
But no, that's a fair point.
And Vance gave it a 7, and your missus gave it an 8.
Excellent. I kind of feel Daniel Vance on the 3-person away parties. Just vary it up a little bit, please. But no.
Well, why would you? I never, like I said, why the fuck are you sending a pilot down there? It makes no sense. They do that all the time.
Well, she piloted the ship. I mean, yeah. Why? I agree.
Yeah, you're right. She piloted the. Yeah, you know what? I take it back. She piloted the.
And they didn't have sensors, so I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, why would you send your main pilot down? But like, at least get your like second best pilot to go down. You know what I mean? Like, keep your best pilot on the ship, and then send your second best pilot in the shuttle. You know, but I get what you're saying. Where it's like, yeah, why would you send your best pilot?
Enterprise should have like at least 3 or 4 main pilots, with other people still being able to pilot the ship if they were out. If you know what I mean. Yeah.
I don't know. This party made sense to me. Like, I get where you'd want to take a security detail with you, but then you just got a bunch of red shirts with you. You know, I mean, I guess somebody could have gotten eaten by a dinosaur. You know what I mean? At least we would have gotten that. Yeah, right. We could have gotten a red shirt.
Like the lawyer in Jurassic Park.
Yep.
You know what? I'll give TOS credit for that. At least they had fucking red shirts. You don't get red shirts nowadays.
Yeah, no.
You know,
they got to pay a lot of money to put those people in front of that green screen room or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That was very, like, it was good CGI, but like, I was like, man, that is all like CG. Like,
entirely.
They
were just standing in that green room, but they did a good job acting in it. I mean, acting with nothing around you is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been our review of season 4, episode 1 of Strange New Worlds, Star Trek. I want to thank my co-hosts for joining me, Cheeto, Zan, Lord Donkey, and Jefferson. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank the audience. What else do we have coming down the pipe on NerdTube that people should look out for? Dark Side of the Ring is back, correct?
Yeah, we're doing that. Hopefully tomorrow, if I can get Ginger's fat ass off his fucking couch, we'll be doing A World Gone Insane. There's so much to talk about. We have a new prime minister here in the United Kingdom. The World Cup has just ended. The constant war in Iran. Liv Morgan is MAGA. Andrew Tate, getting thrown in jail. There's so much to fucking talk about regarding what's happened in the last few weeks. And let's hope we can get that going tomorrow. But no promises, but we'll try.
Okay, awesome. Smash the subscribe button and the bell icon if you want to see that. That way you won't miss the notification. Everybody, live long and prosper. See you next week.
Live long and die mad about it.